Student loan relief applications are now live. President Biden announced their availability a couple months after revealing a plan to cancel debt for millions of American borrowers. The plan is to eliminate up to $10,000 for student loan borrowers who currently make $125,000 a year or less. And that's $250,000 for couples. This amount goes up to $20,000 for Pell Grant recipients. The Pell Grant is a subsidy the U.S. federal government provides for students who need the financial assistance to pay for college. The Congressional Budget Office has said the program will cost about $400 billion over the next 3 decades. Well, the applications to receive the relief can now be found at the website studentaid.gov and is said to be a simple application, asking for only a few basic questions such as the applicant's name, birthday, and social security number. For many borrowers, they may not even need to apply in order to reap the benefits. Yesterday, the Education Department started notifying some of the recipients of their eligibility to be automatically relieved. These recipients are likely those whose information is already available to the department through the free application for federal student aid, or by already being enrolled in an income-driven repayment plan, which are plans that allow some borrowers to base their monthly payments off their income instead of the loan amount. Those eligible for automatic relief are said to be around 8 million people. If they want to, they can still opt out, but would need to do so by November 14th. Now, back in September, the Education Department walked back eligibility for an estimated 800,000 borrowers who originally pulled their loans with private entities instead of federal ones. For example, those with the now-defunct Federal Family Education Loans or Perkins Loan Program were previously told to consolidate their debt into the Federal Direct Loan Program so they could qualify for the relief, and that they would have until the end of the year to do so. But the department pulled back on that and stopped the deadline in late September without warning. Eliminating these groups is said to be strategic and even sacrificial, so as to help save the whole program as they start to face legal challenges. These challenges come in the form of several lawsuits hoping to block the debt cancellation from taking place. At least 5 lawsuits have already been filed so far, and already a federal judge has heard arguments from 6 Republican-led states last week who claim that their states will lose out on revenue should the forgiveness take place. But the main argument overall seems to be challenging the HEROES Act of 2003, which gives the Education Secretary the power to modify student loan balances in the face of a national emergency. The Department of Justice has used this act to temporarily pause student loan payments during the pandemic when people were losing their jobs and the economy went haywire, and claims that the same justification can be used to execute this relief plan. But Republican states are claiming that COVID no longer serves as a justification. They also take issue with the fact that this whole plan is coming from the executive branch, with the Nebraska Solicitor General saying in the hearings, what they're trying to do is go around Congress, and this they can't do. Government officials aside, this conversation around the student loan crisis and forgiveness plans has everyday citizens divided. You have those that say student loans crush the lives of millions who still hold their debt even decades after college, and that relief is necessary to help this huge portion of the country get their lives back on track. Altogether, more than 43 million Americans have federal student loan debt totaling $1.6 trillion. They say that these numbers have prevented people from investing, saving, and even enjoying their lives because of this burden. They claim that they were sold a lie, which was to pay for college by any means necessary, as it would be worth it in the end, only to find out that that's not always the reality. And then you have others who disagree with the idea of mass loan forgiveness. They say that it's not fair to wipe out debt for tens of millions of borrowers when so many others sacrificed in order to pay off their full debts, or those who worked throughout school to pay cash. And they point to the fact that nowhere in this program are there plans to address what they consider to be the root of the problem, which is skyrocketing college tuition. According to an analysis by visual capitalists using data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor, the years 1980 to 2020 saw the cost of obtaining a degree increase by 1,200%, while inflation only went up 236%. Another problem stated is the fact that high school-aged teenagers are so easily allowed to pull out massive loans for these tuitions, which By the way, they can't declare bankruptcy later on. Despite the lawsuits and criticism, President Biden is moving full steam ahead with the forgiveness plan. With midterms just a few weeks away, both sides of the aisle are pushing their agendas hard for some wins before Election Day. And this is no different. You've just been informed, so now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives and just get to the point, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.